Live from YMSL Studios, welcome to the Douglas Report, Week 2.
Douglas Report.
Douglas
Report. Not Douglas. He's not with us.
You're right. Douglas Report. I'm your host, Bobby Marabia, with, as usual, NRJ and Michael Saban Solomon. And guys, what a difference the weeks make.
What a week. A lot of
smiles on your faces over here after last week's. And as a matter of fact, we had sweeps across the board in the league. It hasn't happened in a long time. And Michael, we'll start off with you. Tell us about your exciting sweep and what you told your team going into this week.
Well, first of all, I want to welcome everybody and thanks for having me back. It's going to be a great season here on the Douglas Report. Let's get to my first game. We faced AB Saka's team. I believe the Fountain of Youths. This team has absolutely nothing. I mean, the only shining spot on the whole team is AB. He pitched great, but we hit and we made unbelievable plays in the field. And our pitcher, Buabe, was great. And that's it. I mean, they had nothing. Every little rally they had, we ended. We caught a guy, hit a triple. He missed first base. I appealed, out. One guy tried to steal on me from second to third after the, batter hit a grounder, threw him out at third. So any little thing they had, we stopped. They never had a shot. I mean, I think they scored 2 runs the whole day. So.
From what I'm hearing from this game is that Fountain of Youth's first-round pick, Eli Harari, is turning out to be a big time bust as a first-round pick.
0 for 14 on the season, I believe.
1 for 11.
1 for 11.
0 for 14.
He's dropped down to 6th in the lineup. Everyone at the time said it was a disaster of a pick.
Yeah.
And it's playing out that way. I mean, so...
what happens when you pick family, you pick them a little earlier than you're supposed to, but...
You see, he should have let someone else... He should have taken a real first-rounder, let Eli cry on the field like Jaime Shama, and then Eli would have just came to his team because that's what he wanted at the end of the day. Why waste a first-round pick?
You know what, though? Eli wouldn't cry like that. He would take any team. It was AB's prerogative to want to play with him. You know what? The kid's a great player. He just started off very cold.
Honestly, I think he would have got in the next round. That's the mistake. I think a couple of captains bluffed.
He would have been there in the second round.
AB that they would have taken him, but he definitely would have been in the third round. I feel so.
Now, obviously, he's not going to stay 1 for 11. He's going to hit, but you just hit it on the head perfectly. You could have had him a little later. Now, imagine that team with. Jordy on that team,
right.
with that as the first round pick.
Because there's no doubt AB is bar none the best pitcher in the league. So, I mean, you start off with that and a great shortstop, great center fielder, you would have had a pretty strong team. But
it wasn't the fielding. I mean, they had a few errors, but none by the guys you just mentioned. And they just... We hit and they didn't, and we made the plays, and that was the end of it.
They only scored 3 runs on the whole day.
And Jack Buabe had pitched 2 very good games, and I know he keeps the games interesting. It's almost ball 3 on every
batter.
But he battles, and he stays in there. He doesn't get frustrated, which is great to see in a young pitcher, and he doesn't give in. So also I think somebody had a great rebound game on your team.
Yes, Morris Harari.
Which I don't think anybody's had a worse week 1 in a long time.
Let me tell you something. And I'm going to make this public knowledge. After week 1, I sent this guy an email basically trying to shatter his life in this league. Seriously. And I think now he knows that I didn't do it on purpose to really hurt him, but I needed to wake him up. I took him for a very important position. I took him to be a top hitter in my lineup, and it woke him up. I mean, I threatened to move him to another position, and I know he didn't want to move there, and he called me and said, Saban, I need to be at third. I need to show you. I will kick ass for you, and he did. He homered his first at bat. He made every play in the field. The guy has the position full time, and that's the end of that. So he's back.
At the plate, by the way, he's batting .583, 7 for 12 on the year. So
he had a monster home run the other day.
Monster 2-run homer
on an 0-2
pitch. On an 0-2 pitch. It was a high pitch. He went after it to protect, and he drove it 50 feet over the right fielder's head.
And well, yeah, we always knew the kid had talent. I guess he just the first week he had nerves and got a little more comfortable. Rumor had he tried to move him into second base this week.
Well, yeah, I mean that was
wasn't
that was the email, but it was planned out that I was going to send it. I consulted with Allie.
Yeah.
We said we just got to shake him up. We knew the psyche of the young player. We knew that he would, react to that, and he did. And I'm happy he did because look what he came back with.
And speaking of Allie, had a big week this week, 4 for 4, 2 doubles, 2 triples, 4 RBIs. So I guess he got the engagement jitters out of the way. And,
That and also a couple gallons of Pepto-Bismol before the game. I mean, I think the city probably sent you a summons for leaving 42 gallons of manure on the field. That was all from Allie.
And speaking of Awabe, he had actually 7 walks on the day, which is amazing that only 3 runs scored. Really, it just shows the inept offensive.
Yeah, but like I said, anytime they had any kind of threatening situation, we put a quick end to it. Double plays, guys missing bases, guys getting thrown out. I mean, it was a good fielding day.
Yeah, we spoke to A.B. Sack, and he specifically mentioned that Max Sutton and Mo Harari made every play, which really really knocked them out.
And it sounds like the whole middle of the order of Fountain of Youths came out dry yesterday, by the way. Every time they had anything on, like you said, double plays, pop-ups to the infield,
I think actually the only guy that really did anything, I think, was Edmund Dweck, making his first game back from the Syracuse Nationals. He had maybe 3 for 7 or
I think he went, according to the site, he's 2 for 5 yesterday.
Okay. He walked a couple of times.
And don't look now, Jacob Jamal with 2 RBIs of the 3 on the team yesterday on Fountain of Youth. So Save on Sanity could not find an answer for Jacob.
Well, let me give you a little shout out to your brother. I just met him the other day. Good kid. Some bully, I forgot who, and was trying to force him out of batting practice. And I kind of stuck up for him. I said,
really?
Yeah, let the kid go. And they tried screaming rookie,
really?
stuff like that. And I said, let the guy hit.
We spoke to
who was doing that?
We spoke to him. He said, you were the bully that was actually
What? You tub, you little beast. Call in right now. I can't believe you're finished. I'm going to let Edmund eat you next week.
So Yvonne trying to take credit for
What?
that.
I was playing first. Oh, my God. Are you kidding me?
So,
all
right. So,
Jacob, I can't believe you, man.
Throwing Jacob under the bus over there.
No, what do you mean? I can't believe this guy. What kind of people?
Maybe that's Jacob. Right. Jacob hiding under the desk over there. But anyway, Sabine, you got to feel good at 3-1 right now.
Feel great,
and right in the mix. And so your team has a pretty, Malbadev coming up next week. We'll talk about that matchup a little bit later. And Norman, on the other hand, over here.
Yeah, we just met Malbadev.
Yeah, you met Malbadev.
By the way.
Now, you guys were actually in a bigger turmoil than Zabon's team last week. I mean, you had a tremendous amount of adversity coming in. So,
I mean,
let's talk about your team.
In week 1, we got swept. Everyone knows about it. We blew a huge lead in game 1, and then we just got destroyed. Totally 18-0 in game 2. Definite carryover effect. We knew that as a team, maybe we weren't the best team in the league, but we knew we're not this type of team. Right. We're not a team that's going to lose 18-0. That's just ridiculous. Maurice made a couple of moves, highlighted by addition by subtraction, getting rid of Jaime, but also addition by getting his son, Abraham Haber. So we put Abraham in right field, and our outfield was excellent yesterday.
Before we take the call, are you sure you want to put mathematics in the same sentence as Maurice Haber? If you want to say Tahina plus Baba Ganoush equals...
I'm telling you, man, he had the blackboard in his war room, up all night, erasing.
Let me tell you, I know he's going to probably call in, but Haber sent me a couple messages after last week's show basically going crazy that we were killing him, and I do want to give him a shout out that he came back to win 2. Nonetheless, we do have a bet, and he thinks his team is going to have a better record than mine.
Okay, well,
and we'll see about that.
We'll see about that. I think actually, speaking of bullies, I think we have Jacob from Deal on the phone. Jacob, you're on the air. How you doing? How's everything? We're here with NRJ and Saban.
Yes. I just would like to say that Mr. Saban was the bully at the batting practice.
Oh my God, Jacob, I can't believe you.
They were playing batting practice when I say, I'm going to go out into the field, try to get some shag some fly balls, if you will. So I'm standing in left field. A.B. Saka is at the plate, and he hits one into left field, and I make a spectacular diving catch. On my way in, I grab a bat, and I hear Saban barking from first base. Where are you going? I said, I'm going to go take some swings. He said, you're a rookie, you can't bat.
Wow.
I said, Mr. Saban, excuse me, but I have every right to swing the bat that you do. At which point, the rest of the field told Saban, let the kid bat.
Wow.
Jacob, due to your bipolar condition that you informed me about Sunday morning, I think it was the exact opposite. I think that there was somebody behind you at the fence saying that rookies shouldn't bat, and me barking from first, telling them to leave you alone. Now, if you want to look back into the archives, young man, you'll see that I never really stuck up for anyone. But due to the fact that I know your brothers and one of your other brothers is a teammate of mine, I figured I'd throw you a bone.
Is
But
this true,
there will be
Jacob?
no more bones thrown
I
to
was
you.
paying close attention to the situation. I got up to bat, finally. I was able to take some swings. And I'm pretty sure you informed your pitcher, or one of your players on your team, one of the Balabears, it wasn't the starting pitcher, but the other Balabear, to go ahead and rush me at the plate.
What?
Wow.
At which point I was receiving pitches repeatedly, and I still hit them up the middle, having a great PT.
All right, well, obviously, we have a couple of different versions over here, and hopefully we'll get the truth one day. But Jacob, thanks for your call, and good luck the rest of the way with the Fountain of Utes.
Absolutely. I just want to say one more thing. This Harari character at third base, and I'm happy for him to get a home run, having a good season. I'm sitting at catcher. I can tell you, this kid is very nervous at the plate. He
Really?
waits for 2 strikes to swing, and I wouldn't expect much more output out of him in the future. I don't know what round you drafted him in.
Wow.
If it was before the 5th round, you paid too much.
Wow.
Jacob
Okay,
Jamal with
Jacob.
harsh words at 17 years
The
old.
rookie.
Throwing people under the bus.
My good man, considering that you guys scored 3 runs this week and Harari had more RBIs than
Than
your
your team.
entire team, I would suggest you hit Dougie's for 24 pieces of chicken wings right now.
Caller, thank you for calling.
Wow. Okay.
Call
we-
back after the sauce is off the cheeks, big boy.
All right. Maurice from Canarsie, you're on the air.
Bobby Marabia. How are you, Mr. Marabia, Commissioner?
Yes, sir.
Can we get the translator for the Arabic-speaking?
NRJ.
What's up, man?
Maurice, this must be Maurice Haber from the 2 and 2.
Also, my good friend on the right of the screen, who's looking very dapper with that tie and the Ormer beard. What is that, Michael? What are you doing there?
Well, I was trying to catch up to Max and the Safdie brothers, but I'm nowhere near.
Well, Maurice, you seem to be in a very jovial mood this week, and rightly so. So tell us what you told your team coming off a disastrous week 1.
Well, first of all, I never panicked, okay? Even when I was down 5-0 in the second game, 10-0 in the third inning, 18-0 in the fourth inning, I didn't panic. Look, I know we have a great team. We had a couple of issues on the field. We had to take it. A lot of guys, were not happy. Really, we shut down. We didn't play. It's not indicative. And then, when we took that loss, I really knew what I was going to do. I worked the phones, I'm very happy to say I got my son in a trade. And I also got Moses Eastman in the trade, which really worked out good because he was sitting on the bench praying to lead for us, which was very important during one inning. And, there was a couple hours and he stopped the bleeding right there. So Moses is a big part of my team. I just want you to know that right now.
Very big
Very
part.
big part. Probably the biggest part.
I'm going to outdo Mike Solomon this year, and I have a bet with Mike Solomon guys what it is, but let me tell you something. We're betting on who's a friendly bet on who has a better record, and I'll bet Max Edin over Jack Malata any day. So take it to the bank, Mike.
I will, to the blood bank.
Yeah. Then, so basically, Malabi, what happened was we made a trade. We came out to the field. We got together. Everybody was very into it. I have a good bunch of guys, and I basically told them, guys, it's week 2. Don't panic. Bottom line is, let's win every inning. Let's play how we can. Everybody wrote us off, including your guy on the right over there. Basically thought we were not going to win a game this year. But you can't count me out because my teams always come to play hard. And we did, and Norman can attest to it. We scored 9 runs in the first inning. And I'd like to give a shout out to my teammates. They're playing unbelievable. Max D pitched a hell of a game. Carlos Abadi, who everybody told me I'm crazy to pick him, is my MVP so far.
Yep.
Norman, you could attest to that.
Carlos Abadi, every out he made this year was a line drive out. He could be batting 1,000 right now, and he makes every play in the field.
Tell us about your first-round pick that showed up a little inebriated about 11:30.
Inebriated is a bad word, especially from last year. I'm not Chucky Abadi. He moved to the Brooklyn League, so we don't use that word. It's too long for me, inebriated. So the bottom line is the kid had a birthday the night before. He woke up late. I gave him a pass for his birthday. He knows he's never going to have that happen again. He missed exit 105. We won without him in the first game, which shows to my team how good we really are. So he came back in the second game. We inserted him in the lineup. And the guy was tremendous. And I happen to think I made a great pick by picking Nathan Zolta because I think that guy is going to just break out this year. And he showed some signs of hitting in the second game. So the league better watch out about this guy. He's an up-and-coming star.
Now,
What kind of signs did he show of hitting? Like
basically signs that your team can't show, Solomon, when he basically hits the ball for a gapper in the double, and he really takes the extra base. These are the signs that he shows, and he knows that you're his biggest fan, so he's really out to prove it to you, Mike, this year.
Oh, well, I'm happy that we have people following my career over here, and I'm happy.
You have Steve Azar and me, so you have really 2 people on the audience. Plus, I have Dale in my house doing my phones right now, so he's watching the show.
Oh, so it's a viewing party, one of the world famous viewing parties.
Oh, well, it sounds like you only need John Travolta, and you're going to have a big party.
So right there, the ratings should go up. And Bobby, I don't know how you signed Mike Solomon to a 2-year, multi-million-dollar contract when you could have got me for half the price.
Well, when you wear a suit like this, honey, you know, this is top of the line. Also, your son, Jackie Haber.
He ain't not calling me, you can have me. I mean, what do you want? Jacob Jamal is, what is it, weekly 10?
I want to tell you one thing. Steve Azar's my hero. Any guy that's not in the league and watches this show is okay by me.
I heard Anthony Mahor is calling in next, and I'm dying to see that tape on that.
Also, his son Jackie Haber rebounded very well this week. 3 for 6 with 2 doubles.
Also made
Jackie Haber, I have to tell you, he was very embarrassed with his first showing. I, as a father, know what he can do. And the team didn't really see what he could do. He lost his confidence in the first game, but he came back like a champ, made a tremendous catch. And the guy now is looking to be strong in the next couple of weeks, and he's watching the show as we speak. He's very happy.
I got to tell you, we scored 9 runs in the first inning, and then the other team started chipping away, 9-2, 9-3, 9-4. Then at 9-4 in the last inning, all of a sudden, a couple of men on, long drive to the right field gap, right center gap. Jackie Haber made a running, full extension catch to save the game in the last inning. Huge, huge play. Huge.
Played in the minor leagues last year in the Baba Ganoush League that Mike Solomon always plays in. By the way, I want you to know Michael Solomon begged to be in that league. I think they banned him from that league, but I don't want to tell anybody on this. I'll get into that later. But he played in the league last year, and he had a very good showing, so I think he just needs some experience under his belt.
Okay, Maurice, we won't let you go. We have one more thing we want to talk about. First of all, I got to say hi to my son Alex before he goes to bed. I want to make sure we got to him. Maurice, tell us now, I think a big distraction had to be the whole Jaime Shama fiasco. I think your team was more relaxed after the trade. Tell us about that, what you felt.
All right, this is the true Hollywood story. First of all, I never want to say anything bad about anybody. You know, he's really not on my team anymore. But basically, the second I drafted him, as I picked him, I got some very quick calls to my phone saying, "What are you doing? What's going on here? We play together, this and that," and I was shocked. And I know Michael Solomon on the show basically said I blame Haber for this stuff. But you know what? At the end of the day, when the guy's around in the 6th round, the guy like Jaime, and a league like this, and we're not 4-year-olds, you know, if the guy's on the draft list, you pick him. I didn't pick him to basically hurt anybody. I picked him because I thought he could be good for my team.
That's absolutely false. You told me yourself you took him to. Wait, hold on.
Because you're gonna lose enough money, so relax.
Hold on. Did you or did you not say you're taking him to screw everybody?
No, I wanted to trade him. I took Jason Marshall to screw Albie. So that's really what I tried to do.
And did you not ask me to trade Moses to my team for a week's supply of food at any meat restaurant in the area?
Sorry, Commissioner, can you relax with this guy? So anyway, so Jaime Shama basically didn't want to be on my team. I begged him. I said, Jaime, we go back a long way. He said, okay, if you pick me up from Avenue J, drop me at my house, get me some bagels. I'll think about it. So I was in a tough spot. So he basically came to the field and he said, I'm gonna see how it goes. We had a lead. Mo Shama came to the field. He liked our team. All of a sudden, we lost the lead. We lost the game. All hell broke loose. A couple of bats were thrown. The umpire came to me, called a timeout, and basically said, "You're a short center fielder right now. Does not want to pick up the bats." I basically said, "What does that have to do with me?" He said, "It's not his responsibility, and I'm holding you liable." And I'm saying, "Oh my God!" So I really didn't want to be there. So I worked the lines. I accommodated him. I did what's right. I got my son. At the end of the day, it worked out. Jaime's happy. I think he went 0-4 against the same team. But you know what? I wish Jaime well. I wish Mo Shama well. These guys are pillars of this league, and I have nothing but respect for them, and I only wish them luck.
Okay, Maurice, thank you very much. Good luck the rest of the way now. You're 2-2. And you got a big matchup this week.
You got a bye week this
week. Oh, you have a bye week
this
week.
In 2 weeks. So,
bye week.
Happy Mother's Day, and I'll see you in 2 weeks, Michael Solomon.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to that.
Okay.
Good night.
Enjoy your week. Okay. So Maurice,
there you have it.
obviously, a very happy camper. We didn't hear, he was avoiding the media last week. And so a lot of things to turn for him, and I guess everything's all happy over in.
Everything's always good when you win a couple of games. The team we played against, Mabadef, was not impressive. I was not impressed with really any aspect of their game. I don't think that team's going to go far. I don't think they fielded that well. I don't think they hit that well. Mikey in the first game gave up 9 runs in the first inning. He did settle down after that, but to settle down after 9 runs, even as he said, it's a little late. And that's that. I don't see this team making a real push anywhere.
As we mentioned, Carlos Abadi 5 for 8, 5 runs, 4 RBIs, nice rebound week, and Steven Safdie continues his hard hitting.
He's great. By the way, he was taken I think on the wraparound 3rd and 4th round.
Yeah.
Guy's playing unbelievable.
Yeah, no, he's very, very good. I mean, the truth is, the fact that he even got him after taking Nathan Zolta is amazing that he lasted in the another round. So, your team is. How did Carlos feel so far?
Very good. I don't think he has an error yet.
Really?
Yeah, he's making every play.
Okay.
A lot of impressive plays. By the way, for the other team, Gabe Abadi at short is unbelievable. You don't know some of the plays this guy made.
No, but Gabe's a bona fide star in this thing. He's a first-round pick.
Unbelievable plays. Deep in the hole at short, throwing 100 miles an hour to first base. Made a full over-the-shoulder catch running into left field, basically. Guy was unbelievable.
Could the strenuous fielding be taking a toll on his hitting?
Who, Gabe?
Yeah.
Well, is he hitting or no? I don't even know if he's hitting. But I think
I actually got a phone call today, email rather, from someone on the on that squad complaining this was a high pick for the team, one of the stars. Is not too thrilled with the team.
Wow.
Not too thrilled with any aspect of the team. And
you're right, by the way. He's batting 3 for 11.
Yeah.
Only 1 extra base hit and 2 ribbies.
He'll come around.
273 batting average.
I mean, it's early in the season.
That team. The truth is, I haven't really seen too much of that team for some reason. So they're sort of going under the radar. So I got to really watch them a little more. But you do have Eli Batesh, you have Soli Shehebar, you have Morris Casson. It's
Eli Batesh had an issue with the umpire. He kept, he throws the bat after every time he hits. One time it went to the pitcher's mound. Another time it went behind the umpire somehow. I don't know how he wrapped it around there, but the umpire gave him a warning after the second time. And Elliott was arguing that he can't control it. and that he shouldn't even get a warning because he can't control himself, and that's just the way he lets go of the bat.
Well, they say that about serial killers. So
Exactly.
No, what does that mean? You can't control.
And the guy didn't kick him out or anything.
They
He
say
just gave
that
him a
about
warning.
porn stars too.
I mean, I didn't even realize he had such a bad throwing a bat issue.
Yeah. He does.
So, all right, well, that's something to obviously look into for anybody playing against him.
Right.
Is that why Kornman had a giant dent in his skull Sunday night?
So, all right, so you guys, you said you have a bye week, so I guess you can enjoy Mother's Day this week.
Yeah.
And, we'll take that. Now, the next matchup, which was father-son, was Dallas 2, Nathan's team, versus the Twins. And this was two classic games. Red Nesser against Meyer Safdie. And I'll tell you, we always talk and joke about Dallas's age. I mean, that whole team was limping on Sunday. And
I heard before the game, Nathan and Jack Adden were both injured before the game started.
Nathan got hurt hitting. He hurt his back. He was at 30%. Jackie, I guess, came in. He was stretching and he was hobbling.
I also got news that David Asher might be out for about a month.
Really?
David Asher.
Well, by the way, shout out to David Asher.
Happy
It's
birthday.
his birthday.
He's 139 today. Fits right into the Dallas Abid, and congratulations on making it this far.
Really? Is that really breaking news?
Well, I mean, I don't know
what
for
was
sure,
it,
but he definitely saw a doctor this week.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I think he took an x-ray or something, and they said there wasn't any severe damage, but he said he can't walk, and he said he should have came out of the game in the first game, and he stretched it to play two games.
What happened was it exactly?
I don't know. I guess it's a combo of age, not stretching, all this stuff, and
because it was kind of hard to tell running to first because he's slow to begin with, so we didn't realize he was hurt, but nonetheless,
I think the team takes a bus to the MRI after the game.
well, Asher, being the true warrior that he is, probably wouldn't want to show it, and I guess he doesn't classify himself as one of the older guys yet with the guys on that team. Nevertheless, he did say he's definitely going to miss a week or two. Maybe
oh, really?
more. Yeah.
Really? Oh, that's breaking news. That team is already hobbling to begin with. I hope they have enough guys to field the team this week. So,
well, despite the hobbling, I heard Nathan Towell made a couple of spectacular catches in left field.
I actually saw one. We were maybe in the middle of the break there from the two games, and I don't know who hit it, but it looked like a bomb, and he made.
Well, actually, ironically, one of them was JT. He robbed him at a full extension dive, and then I think one of them might have been I don't know if it was Sam Harari or whatever. He made another great catch in the gap in left center, and so even at 50%, he's still at the top of his game.
So
we have here.
So you want to take us through that game? The game one there.
The first one was a classic. It was back and forth. The Twins took an early lead, 2-0 lead, and it would stay like that for a while. And then they were chipping away Dallas, and they actually took a 4-3 lead going into the bottom of the seventh. And as a matter of fact, we have the score sheet right here. Rookie sensation Sam Harari, who's going to be a star in this league, young kid, 20 years old, led off with a double. After one out, JT was up, and he doubled for the outstretched glove of Jackie Hadid in right center to tie the game up. And now at open base, they walked Jimmy Malak to pitch to Eddie Michon, and he greeted Red with a base hit to right center to bring the go-ahead run home, and they walked off with a victory.
And I heard that the base hit actually went off Jackie Hadid's glove, running, diving, whatever it was, went off his glove, and JT was already running on contact, where if Jackie was able to make the catch, he probably would have doubled off JT, inning would have been over.
Right.
So that's how game one ended, and then I believe it went straight into game two with another thrilling victory.
Yeah, and it was, you know, a very interesting scenario happened also in Game 2, and I'd like to get your guys' take on it. There was an incident with Red Nesser and
By the way,
Sammy and Saint Sutton.
sorry to
Yes.
interrupt you. They walked Jimmy Malak. Eddie Michon's batting 786 this
Yeah.
year, 11 for 14.
Yeah. By the way, he was
And
7
they-
for 8 this week. A tremendous one. of
And
the
they
players
walked
of the
Jimmy
week.
Malak to get to him. 11 for 14.
Yeah.
He's probably leading the league right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So interesting scenario happened. Red Nesser, you know, really old time school. Technology's not his forte.
Right.
Went off on Sammy Sutton, insane,
Okay.
on the sidelines, and you know, Red's got his issues, but in this case, I agree with him 100%. He came off the sideline. It was a tie game in the 7th inning, or you know, Game 2. And he went off on Sammy because he was on his BlackBerry. Sammy was DHing and he was on his BlackBerry, and Red threw the glove at him and said, "Put that thing away. I'll break it. I'll crack it in half. I'll kill you. You know, because I leave mine in the car. You know, I can get jobs too. Whatever." So
Wait, Red has a BlackBerry?
No, Red has a
Yeah,
car
phone,
phone, which is
phone.
why he leaves it in the car.
Yeah.
It's probably still connected to the car.
so, but I happen to agree with Red 100%. We don't have any heart surgeons, cardiologists, you know, EMTs on this thing. If you can't focus on a game for 2 hours and put the phone away, I think there's big issues. And you know, what do you think?
Well, Saban's the captain. I'd like to hear what his
I mean, it
clubhouse
bothers me when I
policy
see that.
is.
When
You know
guys are
what?
busting their butt.
You're right. I mean, there's really no need. He's probably trying to set up a date with one of his male friends for later that night, or you know, see what time Ombre closes in South Beach, or for that matter, see
Okay.
you know.
As a matter of fact,
Oh, is the lot 6 on the
I
phone
think
right
we have
now?
Sammy from Chelsea on line 1.
Amazing. Every week it changes. Chelsea, what's doing, buddy?
How are you?
Next week it'll be from San Francisco, where you belong.
Yeah, sounds like Savon. Is that Savon in the background?
Yeah, you know who
You
it is.
know, in the background.
I'll tell you, for a guy that makes a lot of gay jokes, you haven't really been exactly straight for a while, have you?
Well, why don't you check your brother Gabby's anus and see how big it is by now?
All right, that's a good comeback. At least you keep it in my family.
Yeah, you know, you, him.
So Sammy, we're just talking about your little incident with Red, and you know, we all feel Red was in the right in this situation.
About the phone?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, he definitely was. Honestly, that was very uncalled for on my end, and it was very selfish on my part, and I will apologize to him in person. It was very, very unprofessional and uncalled for. And honestly, he will get an apology the minute I see him on Sunday morning.
And who were you talking to that was so important during the game?
Savon's mom, but the truth is, I was just telling her that I left money under Michael's pillow. I'm only kidding. I'm just breaking your balls.
All right,
Well,
Sam.
Considering that, you know, we found pieces of your mom in Asbury Sunday night, you know, we wanted to see if she would ever recover from the vicious rape and dismemberment
Right.
that she suffered.
Sammy,
Dismemberment also.
Sammy, being one of the youngsters on your team, tell us about really the state of the injuries on your team. Seems that everybody's banged up every week.
I already spoke to Jesse Sutton and a few guys from Hatzalah, and they definitely recommend that we keep an on-site, at least 2 members from Hatzalah on site, because not only being one of the younger members, but Leon Hara, I mean, to be called for a league, I have to tell you, I felt like I was a doctor that day. Every time I turned around, somebody pulled a hamstring, a growing pull, a back. Meanwhile, I don't know if you guys were at the field watching the way our injured guys were playing. Nathan Cowell made 2 of the greatest catches I've seen in YMSO, and I'm not just saying this. It was something not normal, and not just the catches were great. For a guy that was probably 35, Bobby, you know better than me, 35, maybe 40% at
Yeah.
most coming into the day. He made 2 of the greatest catches and big moments I've ever seen, and I'm not just saying that. Unbelievable.
Yeah, your team's got to get healthy. I mean, a lot of talent on your team, and but you couldn't get a big hit when you need it. And No, nobody's really putting up big numbers. And Henry's walking a lot, but I guess there must be pitching around him. And
It's well, you know what it is. We need Brackett. A real Brackett is such a professional hitter, and until he gets that big hit, they're just gonna keep walking Henry. It's just the way it is.
yeah,
You know, and I think Brackett's pressing, and you know he's such a professional hitter that it shocks me that he hasn't gotten that big hit, but he will.
Wow.
You know, history shows he will. But to give you a little recap of both games, we lost two heartbreakers. We had the game one. We were down 2-0 right away in the first inning, and then Red settled down, and we held them scoreless until I think then we tied the game at 2, and then
Do we really need a
we lost
recap?
No, I think we saw the highlights of this game just
the
now.
the first game. I forget the final score.
yeah. 5-4 to walk off Eddie Michon. It was 7 for 8 on the day. I mean, professional veteran hitter over there pulled through in the clutch. And Sammy Sutton.
Oh, that's
disconnected.
just a shame.
Oh.
Well, I mean, you know, it's 8:45. He could probably still make meat rack in Asbury if he hurried. Listen, the bottom line is this team is going nowhere to. I think it's very safe to say. We predicted this in the beginning of the season. It's the average age is 45 about, and half the team is hurt. Yeah, they got some great guys that used to be great, but at 1-3, it's going to be hard to come back. And does anyone honestly see a team like this winning with Red at the helm?
Yeah.
Not happening.
Nathan Towell, I was talking to him today, and he says that he knows it sounds crazy at 1-3, but he thinks his team is great, and he really thinks his team is going to compete for a championship.
Well, you know, you got to get Charles Haddon back. I mean, he's a youngster. He's a center
he
fielder.
says he's day to day. He should be back maybe in a week or two.
Yeah, so I mean, hopefully it's only one more week. But I mean, you know, you're playing with David Richtie and right, it was slow, and then Jackie had it hobbling, and Nathan had left.
I'm okay with all that, but Red at the
I know,
pitching
but-
mound is the biggest
Yeah.
problem.
I mean, look, you know, the pitching this year is not what it used to be, but having a guy at that age surrounded by guys that age is going to equal
the move for
a
this
disaster.
team is what I forgot which one of you said it last week. Red is really only good for one game, and Moses is only good
Yeah.
for one game. They should be on the same team. They should be splitting the work on the same team.
Yeah, but
That's the way
again,
it should
what
be.
are you accomplishing
And it's
by
good for
getting
their age
another,
because Red
older
in
guy
game
that
2
can't
is
hit?
not going to be able to hold up, and either is Moses.
All right, we have a call coming in. Jimmy from the West Bank. Jimmy, you're on the air.
Let's do it.
Jimmy, what is that? Are you throwing stones in the background? What's going on? Who's that?
Why am I Jimmy?
Oh, wrong guy.
Who is this caller?
Is that you, Brenner?
Stan T, guys. It's Stan T from the
Oh.
Unknown. Nobody thinks anybody's
Oh, because you're unknown. We don't know
Oh.
who you are.
Stay with him.
All right, sorry, they told me Jimmy from the West Bank, so we got the wrong line.
This is Lieutenant Dan Towell from the unknown team, the 4-0 first place unknown team.
Daniel, you talk about a tale of 2 years. At this time last year, you were sitting at the bottom of the standings at 0-4. A year later, you're 4-0. You got to be pretty happy right now.
Bob, I got to tell you, I'm at a loss for words. First of all, let me tell you, Sabon, you're amazing filling in for Doug. I'm happy it's the Doug and West report. And then you're the poster boy for consistency here. And Bobby, what can I say? You know, you do a great job day in, day out.
Just a quick correction. Sabon is not filling in for Doug. Sabon has replaced Doug.
We signed him to a multi-year contract. I don't know if you read that on the...
It was in all the... it was on the ticker on the bottom
Check
of the...
radaronline.com.
Right.
And thanks for the compliment.
But listen, you know, the fact that we got 4 wins under our belt is just, we're elated. We're an unselfish team. We're a team that plays for each other. And when you really think about it, you go down the lineup, 1 through 5. It's too much. It's too much. You got Jordan leading off, 2, Joe Chira, 3, who's this guy Murray Wilson? Nobody knows him, hence unknown. 4, Mark Richter, and 5, Ralph Manning. Too good.
Yeah.
Too good.
I don't think there's been a more appropriate team name than the Unknowns, but what did you know about your team coming into the year?
I knew that we were young, and I knew that we were hungry. That's what I knew, and I knew we were a bunch of guys that didn't have egos. And that's what I think is the most important thing, and that's the recipe
I think they're missing one guy on this team, Edmund Dweck. Young and hungry.
People make mistakes, people make errors, but our philosophy is that means you're trying hard. So it's a good approach to the game right now, and I'm sure we'll be facing a lot of adversity, but looks like we've been able to overcome it thus far.
Now, I was tracking your game on YMSL Plus TV while I was at my game over at Meadowbrook, and I noticed there was a moment when you were up. I'm not even sure if it was game 1 or game 2, really. You guys had a comfortable lead, but then the lead started dwindling down, and it came to a point where the score was 7-4, Leo Casson at the plate, and Morris Shama on deck with 2 outs. You want to take us through that, please?
Oh boy, you don't know. This is what I call the game changer. 7-4, first and second, 2 outs, Leo Casson at the dish, 2-0 count. You see Moshe in the next circle showing him, you gotta be red right here. You gotta get to me. And
The red light. You gave him a red light is what you're saying. No swing.
The pitch, Ralph Hammond grooves one in, and Leo just gets took again, and he gets under it and pops up to right. And that ended the threat. Next inning comes, we tack on 4 more runs, and needless to say, Moshe was not a happy camper. He comes up to Leo Casson at the end of the inning and has some choice words for Leo. But that's Moshe. He leads. That's how he leads. And in that situation, you gotta pass the baton to Moshe and see what he can do with it. They just didn't get to him.
I agree with Dan 100% here. I mean, first of all, not that Leo is that bad, but you got to do anything in your power to get Mo Shama up with men on.
Right.
If it's walking or getting hit by a pitch or cursing the ump out to get the first, whatever it is, you got to
What is
get
their
him
lineup?
up.
Why? Morris got third, no?
No, Leo Cass is batting second this week.
Why?
I don't know why.
That's poor captainship.
Yeah.
Because last year, correct me if I'm wrong, but did this guy even hit? He was pitching, but did he even
maybe
hit?
hit a game. He's not a bad hitter, but
Not
I don't
that
think
he's
he's a
not
number
a
two
bad
hitter.
hitter,
but
but
he's
not
not
number 2
number
hitter.
He's not a number 2 hitter. I don't know what. I get Belize Carey is a perfect number 2 hitter, but he's actually hitting cleanup. I mean, there's
Why? That's horrible.
They got Reed Carrier in the 4. They got Reed Carrier in the 4.
They don't have some. They really
That's
don't have such a strong
terrible.
lineup. But their lineup is not that strong. There's no Sammy Towell.
Okay, but Lee's not a cleanup hitter. Lee
I
should
know.
be batting second.
I know.
Morris should be batting third.
I mean, honestly, let me look through the lineup and see what.
Lee is not a power hitter. Lee is an on-base guy.
Here,
He's about 400-500.
This is Captain Jack Jamel, surprisingly not making the right decision by doing that. I mean, if anything, why not put Jaime in the 2 spot?
Yeah, that's fine also.
Because Jaime doesn't get on.
But
I'll tell
Jaime
you
is
what.
a veteran of the league.
I'll tell you what they
regardless.
did wrong. All right, they traded a great on-base guy with a very high on-base percentage in Michael Richty, who gets about 15 walks a year, and it's about 450. They traded for Jaime, who's not known for his bat. Jaime's hitting number 7 or 8, and now you got to put Leo in the.
Okay, fine. So that was wrong. But now that you have your team,
Okay.
you don't need to put Leo in the 2 spot. I think that's a huge mistake.
No, but I'm saying, who would you put in that 2 spot?
Lee.
Okay, Lee.
No,
now,
but if Lee's the number 4
Who's your
hitter in
cleanup
this
hitter?
situation,
It's a weak lineup now.
It's weak because they did not put the surrounding components around their best player. If they don't have a great player, then you take the guy with the best experience, which would have been Jaime, or even a Jack Jamel. Jack Jamel was probably
Yeah, he
hitting
should have been number
leadoff,
2.
and he's not a leadoff hitter.
No, he hit 6th. He was
Well,
Where's
then
Sonny?
that's
Sonny's probably
ridiculous.
leading
Yeah.
off, right? Okay, I would do Sonny.
This is what the lineup
Lee.
was: Sonny, Leo, Mo Shama, Lee Zakaria, Jake Dweck, rookie, Jack Jamal, Jaime Shama.
Well, you know what?
Amy
If
Salem.
either Jack, if
Very
they,
impressive. Jake DeWitt in my head is very impressive. He was very impressive.
Yeah, no, he was a bona fide great pick at that 4th, 5th round. They got him.
You want to know something? If I was the captain of this team, only because they don't have that big threat number 4 type guy, I would move Sonny to number 4. I'd move Lee Zakaria down to number 2, and then Mo Shama could be flanked by 2 very good hitters.
Yeah.
You gotta have him surrounded so if someone's on, he could drive him in. If they get walked, there's a guy to back him up. But you can't.
if not that, if not Sonny, then Lee. If not Lee, then Jack Jamal.
Right, one of
Yeah.
those three combo, but that's not at the
And
right.
it cost them a huge
Yeah.
moment.
I mean,
in
he
the
was
game.
2 for 6. He wasn't awful, but I mean, it's.
It's not against him. He's not awful.
No, I'm
but-
just saying that lineup has nobody that's going to make put any fear into opposing captains. So just
Except Morris, who you
Yeah.
have to get to in that situation.
Right,
you have
right.
to.
So
Or you know what? I hate to say it, but even Steven Batesh could in that lineup might be a 4 or a 5 hitter.
Well,
but
he was
you
0
got-
for 6 this week.
Okay, but-
at number
He
10.
was brutal at the dish on Sunday.
that's fine, but it's probably it would have been a better lineup if he was at a
But
better
Bobby's
spot.
right. Michael Richte, who leads the
It-
league in walks
I'm telling
every
you.
year, is the perfect
They
guy for
gave
that
away
spot.
a bat
Perfect.
to get Jaime to satisfy Morris.
It's
and
the same concept
I
of
know.
A.B. Saka taking his nephew who's over
Right.
20
Okay,
on
but,
the season.
Listen, that team's going to have to win. If they're going to win, it's going to be on experience, and that's it. It's not going to blow anybody away. But Dan,
Michael Richte's batting only 4 for 5, small sample, but he's batting 800. He already has a walk.
DT, thanks for the call, and we look forward to continued success for the unknowns. They won't be unknown for longer.
Let's go. Let's go. See you later.
All right, thank you. Jimmy, you're on the air.
Yeah, Bobby.
Hi, how are you, Jimmy? How's everything?
All the way from the West Bank.
Yes.
Yeah.
T-Fact, Jimmy, what's going on?
How you guys doing?
You got to speak up, caller. This is live TV. Speak up.
Oh, sorry, guys. What's going on? Listen, I just, by the way, I want to say a few words about that whole team that you were talking about. Don't underrate them, by the way.
Which team?
Hell of a team. Nathan and Haddad and center field.
Haddad.
Haddad.
Wow, that's old school pronunciation.
Wow, they were even what's his name, David Richte in right field. He robbed me of a triple down the right field line.
Oh, wow.
How do you know you would have made it to third? Jim?
Right.
Jim?
Yeah, what's going on, man?
Chief Fact Jimmy?
So, Jimmy, tell us about your team. A lot of people feel that your team, right out with the unknowns, is one of the best teams in the league. You have Meyer pitching now, who's incredibly efficient and not blowing anybody away, but he could field, he could hit a little bit. What do you think of your team so far?
Listen, you were there this past Sunday. You see what he does. He doesn't walk anybody, and if you don't walk anybody, you guys have a chance to win. You let us defend the ball. We do our job. We have one of the best outfielders in the league, I think, with JT and the two boys in the corners. We're a very underrated shortstop who's leading the world in batting average. Eddie Michon with clutch hits after clutch hits every week. We had a stacked lineup. I don't know how we got such a great team. JT did a phenomenal job with putting this team together. And look, we have a big challenge this week playing the unknowns. I know they're 4-0. I know they have this guy, the hockey player, Mark Richter, in space, who I hear hits the ball 400 feet.
Coming off a thrilling victory last night,
Yes.
Mark Richter and the Rangers.
Exactly, 6 seconds left in the game, but it's going to be a great challenge this week. It's 3-1 versus 4-0, it's going to be great. But we're going to go as far as Meyer takes us. We know if we defend and we pitch the ball the right way, we get the timely hits like we did this past week, I think we can go a long way.
A lot of the critics were criticizing the left side of your infield and saying it was extremely weak.
The pre-Douglas draft, all I kept hearing from the media was our weak left side of the infield. But we have Gold Gloves at each position. In my opinion, Eddie Michon's very underrated at short. He saves runs like
Like Richter makes saves, yeah.
Save runs like that. Goes all out, and he still manages to keep his hair so straight and so smooth with his gelled hair, but.
I thought JT made a couple of great picks. Sam Harari in the 8th round was an absolute steal.
That's a steal, and everyone's trying to get him. Everyone keeps.
Yeah, now they can get him. And I thought Edward Benjamin is going to be a great star in the league. So he was taken the 5th round.
It looks like every ball is hit there, by the way. I feel like every ball they hit is right in his glove.
Yeah, now he's easily going to be a center fielder in a couple of years.
For sure.
Your team's definitely, definitely a team to be reckoned with. So were you surprised that they walked you to pitch to Eddie Michon in the bottom of the 7th with open base?
Look, if it doesn't even, it's a no-brainer. You put the force on any base. I think we had 1 out at
the fourth inning, base ground ball. You get either a ground ball third would have ended the inning, you know. And not for nothing, by the way. If Jack had it, makes that catch, he doubles up JT. He walked at second base and doubles up JT. So
Was it close? Did he have it in his glove? Yeah, the ball.
You know, but I know they're missing their center fielder. I hear he blew out his knee. I hope he feels better. But if they had him, I think they would have took at least one game this week. They're very good. Nathan Towell is, my God, I wish I could see him when he was 20 years old. He looks like one of the best center fielders, one of the best fielders in the league now. At age 48.
I think he won a Gold Glove last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's at this age.
By the way, one more thing. You got to add Savon Seaman to that category. I've seen them play from across the whatever. He has a stacked team.
Yeah, his lineup is very solid.
Well, I don't necessarily think the teams with the best records right now are the best teams in the league. I don't think the 4-0 team is the best team in the league. And I think you're going to beat them at least once, maybe twice this upcoming week when we get to that part of the show.
Wow.
So I think it's too early to just group anyone that's 3-1 as the best teams in the league.
I agree.
All right, Jimmy, thanks for the call, and continued success the rest of the year. Good luck.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
All right, thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
All right, Jack, you're on the air.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Jack,
this must
how
be
are you?
Jack Jamal from the Winless Insane organization. How are you, Jack?
Little, hanging in there. A little tough first week there. Not gonna push the panic button yet, but definitely very disappointed would be the team, the way I feel right now.
Jack, before we get into into whether the red light was given to Leo Casson or not, take us through your thought process with this lineup, because we're having trouble figuring this out.
You were 100% right. I mean, we just experimented putting Leo in the 2-hole, but next week we'll fine tune it. I wouldn't go so drastically as moving Zakari out of 4. He's an RBI producer. He protects Mars.
Who's that?
But I think we're going to probably
Yeah,
stick
cool.
either me at number 2.
Yeah.
And just, go from there. I mean, too much pressure as it was. Just Leo has to really concentrate on pitching. That's why we got him. And, I've seen him play outside of YMSL. He's a decent hitter. So that's why we put him there at number 2. But whatever the case is, the fact that he swung 2-0, that's my father didn't tell him as a coach. But I thought, and we thought that, everybody knows that's a stop sign there. You don't swing in that situation.
Jack, take us back to the trade. I'm just curious. How much input did you have in that Jaime Shama for Michael Risty trade? Was it did you initiate it? Was Mars pushing for it? Well, go take us through it a little bit.
Well, like that song goes, you gotta go to the boat.
Exactly.
Basically, H, rightfully so, loves to play with his bro Mars, and I call it the Michael Jordan effect. When you get a guy like Mars Shama, who's going to be one of the greatest players that ever suited the YMSL, top 3 for sure. You have guys like Jackie Hadid, Raha, of course, but Mars Shama is Mars Shama, and I gave up a great hitter, Rishti, a great hitter.
Yeah, you certainly could have used him now in your lineup. I mean, you gave up a great bat, a great on-base guy, and so I mean, for a guy that's really not known for his hitting.
Yeah, but also the flip side is for the 1 or 2 runs that I lose every week by not having Rishti on the offense, I make that up on the defense with H, defensively. And secondly, statistics only go so far. When H really steps up in the postseason when it counts. So, I've always seen H come up big as a clutch hitter. So I definitely hear what you're saying, though, as far as regular season, it doesn't match up. Because that kid Rishti, I would have loved to play with him. The kid is, the way you want to play baseball, that's the way the kid is. So definitely wasn't excited about making the trade, but it definitely was a fair trade for both teams, and I think it's going to work out in the end for both teams, I think.
Do you think this was the right move for your team if you didn't take into effect that H and Mars are brothers, and just purely from a baseball standpoint, is this the better move for your team?
Oh, no. You're right. Absolutely. You hit it right on the head. Definitely not. I mean, if you take the Marshall equation out of it, no, that's not a good baseball trade because, you take for based on not who's better, but what your team needs. And team needed a little bit more offense. You know, we already have the strongest defense in the league. So adding a Gold Glove second baseman, it wasn't a priority as much as having a great hitter. And as Bobby said, a guy that will give you walks, a guy that gets on, a guy that went 4 for 5 last week. You know, so obviously baseball move, no, wasn't the best.
And he's not, and he didn't make any demands to move Lee out of the second base spot.
Oh, no. He didn't make any demands like that. I mean, look, definitely, yeah, I got to tell you, you know, H is, like he said, he comes up big in the playoffs, but, you know, he's not, you know, like the way those gritty kids are, you know, running between games. You know, between games, you know, like if you have a team meeting, you know, he's the type of guy to be the first one there.
Jack, Mike Saban here.
Hey, Mike.
How are you,
Very
bud?
sharp, by the way.
What?
You look very sharp. I just have one question.
Yes.
You guys have 25, almost 30 views, but 72 original logons. Why is so many signed balls? Like why?
Well, I think that you know they probably are thinking that they heard the best, but always in the second half of the show they're going to sign back on because that's when the real action comes out.
I'm only kidding. Personally, you're probably one of the funniest guys in the community, and if anybody's going to ever make it into Hollywood, I can save on following.
I appreciate that. We were wondering why Robert Haddad wasn't hitting third in this lineup.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Robert Haddad, which Robert? You like him?
Yes.
Why he wasn't hitting what?
Either second or third. I mean, because you probably could put Mo at 4, you know, and this, huh?
Yeah, no. Let's not get carried away here. Robert Haddad is a great rookie, but he's not ready to be, you know, a number 2 or 3 hitter.
But he's a rookie. He's 0 for 1 on the year. You got to give your rookies a chance. Maybe you have something.
By the way, every time the kid comes up, he gets a hit, so it's
It
funny.
looks like
You know, he likes controlling when he plays and all that. But
Just remember, Jack, just remember.
You know, it's, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Sorry, just remember 15 to 17 years ago, the same conversation happened about Mo Shama when he was a rookie. And guys like Red, when he turned 70, was saying the same thing. And that was 15 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see a little shout out. What do you think of Jackie Haddad out there? The guy who runs like a gazelle.
Yeah, it's great.
After not being in the league for 18 years, came back at the age of 51, looking very good. Jack, the good news is about your team, you're actually playing the hapless Fountain of Youths this week, so there's a good chance to rebound.
That's a very good matchup for us. I mean, of course, you're going up against, I think.
Actually, unfortunately, that game is going to be blacked out in the local areas, but I'm sure you'll tell us about it next week.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Davey Sack is probably the best pitcher in the league right now. And, again, we're going to go up and it's going to battle it out. And I'm not panicking. We're going to turn the ship around. It's week 1. You know, last year we were 1 series away from a World Series. And Jamal, Norman, you always bring up the fact that we're a boring team, insane.
Very boring. Extremely.
World Series. There's nothing boring about becoming a dynasty. And
What dynasty? You blew 7 games in a row last year. You're not a dynasty.
one of the best teams of all time.
You are not a dynasty. You're not even close to a dynasty. Last year, you almost had the biggest letdown in the history of the league.
Yeah, I think you had a good seat watching it. But by the way, we were in the playoffs, 1 game away from the World Series, and the last year before that, we won the World Series.
So-
I'll ask you again.
I'll ask you again. You win 1 World Series. How do you call yourself a dynasty?
Yeah, that's just an honest question. When you ranked us as one of the top teams of all time, you know why I messed up.
Well, let me say something. Number 1, you did have a very good team. You played us and beat us in Game 5 of the World Series, and we had a disaster of a team other than, you know, the core 2, 3, 4 guys like that, but we had 0 pitching. Our shortstop left for some kind of seminar somewhere in Lakewood, and you guys managed to get guys like Jackie Eshko and I believe Azer, who both claimed they weren't playing full-time. Eshko ended up winning Gold Glove in center field. Your brother Ike won batting title. Azer was the pitcher. He won Cy Young. So it's a little unfair to say that, you know,
And
that
besides
was,
for Morris at short, the most important component is Azer at pitcher. You don't have Azer at pitcher. You have Leo Casson at pitcher. So you're not the same.
That's what makes LFC even more astonishing, because after we win the World Series this year, there will be 2 out of 3.
Is that a
Okay.
guarantee?
After you win the World Series this year, we'll talk. I mean, right now you have 1 World Series. So I rank you with every other
I'll give
team.
you that, Mr. Jamal.
What's
I'll
that?
give you that.
Right now, I would say if anybody can make a claim, it would be AB Sacker with his 2 out of 3. So we'll see what he does this year. But if AB could pull off a World Series victory this year, it'd be very impressive. Jack, we gotta let you go. We gotta go to commercial break, and thank you very much, and good luck the rest of the way. And right now, a word from our sponsors, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes. Wow, that was a long thing.